Nobody ever sends me stars. I don't know what's up with that. But okay. Ah, good morning. Now, before you say anything to anyone this morning, you say anything, anyone. Okay. There's 8 words that you ought to say before you talk to anybody, unless you talk to the good Lord. Thank God for another day. How many words is that? Thank God for another day. 5 words, right? Because you're still living. Time to get busy. You're wasting time. Good morning to you. It is a Monday morning, believe it or not. The week does go by fast, doesn't it? It does, it does, it does. My name is Kevin Elkins, and I am the host of Decisions 2.0. Why do we call it that? Because everything we do requires us to make one. And even when we don't make one, we just made one. But you can't get around it. You can't go over it. You can't go through it. You can't skip it. Our lives are a combination of all the decisions that we make, even as a child. Anyway, good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkin, and it is time for our daily bread because that's how we roll around here. We give the good Lord thanks before we do anything. Because room without, there'll be nothing that we could do. So we're good. Okay then. So y'all hang loose. And well, first I got to give you the weather to know what's happening on the weather. It looks like we may get a couple of showers today, but I'm not sure. We're gonna do that, but it's a possibility. Okay. Right now, outside in the capital city, it is 75 degrees, which is pretty good. Today's forecast is sun and clouds mixed. Yeah. A thunderstorm is possible, but it's 50 chance of that happening. Tonight, clear and partly cloudy, low near 75, winds light and variable. And on tomorrow, according to the weatherman, 16% chance of rain. Today's a 15% chance, but tomorrow, 15% chance. So it looks like the forecast for tomorrow is the same as it is today. So don't get all upset or anything like that, okay? Anyway, next up, it is our daily bread, a word from on high, something that'll help you change your perspective, or if nothing else, give you a new one. But either way, thank God for one more day being on the ground, because believe it or not, being on the ground and the ground's not on top of you, because I tell you, last night, somebody went to sleep. Hopefully we all did. But somebody, somewhere, didn't get up this morning. So be thankful. Even for the bad days. Actually, there's no such thing as a bad day because all days are good. Things happen bad in them. But I wouldn't trade the day for the world. Because no matter what happens, I'm like Nelson Mandela. You never lose. You either win or you learn. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, Decisions 2.0. We'll be back after a word from on high and my message of the day, which is 6 words. So hang loose. This is for your edification and mine. We'll be right back.
Through valleys deep and mountains high, your faith a beacon in the sky. Every trial with lessons wrapped tight, in every shadow you are my light.
And good morning, Dr. Joe. good to be here. We'll be right back.
For the laughter and tears, for the strength you give in all my
Hi, thanks for joining us for this word of encouragement from Our Daily Bread. My name is Mike Whitmer, and I wrote today's reading, Who Are You? The leader of our video conference said, Good morning. I said hello back, but I wasn't looking at him. I was distracted by my own image on the screen. Do I look like this? I looked at the smiling faces of the others on the call. That looks like them. So yeah, this must be me. I should lose some weight. Get a haircut. In his mind, Pharaoh was pretty great. Ezekiel chapter 32 says he was a lion among the nations, a monster in the seas. But then he caught a glimpse of himself from God's perspective. God said he was in trouble and that he would expose his carcass to wild animals, causing many peoples to be appalled at you and their kings to shudder with horror because of you. Pharaoh was much less impressive than he thought. You and I may think we're spiritually handsome until we see our sin as God sees it. Isaiah 64 says that, compared to his holy standard, even our righteous acts are like filthy rags. But God also sees something else. Something even more true. He sees Jesus, and he sees us in Jesus. Feeling discouraged about how you are? Remember, this is not who you are. If you have put your trust in Jesus, then you're in Jesus, and his holiness drapes over you. You're more beautiful than you imagine. Today's Our Daily Bread scripture reading is from Ezekiel chapter 32, verses 2 through 10. Son of man, take up a lament concerning Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and say to him, You are like a lion among the nations. You are like a monster in the seas, thrashing about in your streams, churning the water with your feet and muddying the streams. This is what the sovereign Lord says. With a great throng of people I will cast my net over you, and they will haul you up in my net. I will throw you on the land and hurl you on the open field. I will let all the birds of the sky settle on you, and all the animals of the wild gorge themselves on you. I will spread your flesh on the mountains and fill the valleys with your remains. I will drench the land with your flowing blood all the way to the mountains, and the ravines will be filled with your flesh. When I snuff you out, I will cover the heavens and darken their stars. I will cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon will not give its light. All the shining lights in the heavens I will darken over you. I will bring darkness over your land, declares the sovereign Lord. I will trouble the hearts of many peoples when I bring about your destruction among the nations, among lands you have not known. I will cause many peoples to be appalled at you, and their kings will shudder with horror because of you, when I brandish my sword before them. On the day of your downfall, each of them will tremble, every moment for his life. Let's pray. Lord Jesus, for those who are burdened by sin and guilt and shame, may they rest in your amazing grace, knowing that your love and your righteousness makes them beautiful. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
And good morning, Charlotte, my granddaughter, singing in this thing here. So I'm going to give us a prop. Oh, yeah. U.S. Air Force and the United States Army Air Force. Those that are cheerborn, don't worry about it. United States Navy. It goes this way. United States Coast Guard. And and last but certainly not least, the USMC, United States Marine Corps. Right. Hey, see, that's why I take my my picture off the screen during that time, because they're a hell of a lot more important than I am. So I just want to make sure we give them their proper respect. You know, Army. Of course, I don't know why we haven't put the Space Force in there. Oh, you go. Space Force is like the same thing as the Air Force, right? So it doesn't make any difference whether we give them a little special song or not, right? I mean, same people. I mean, really, same people. Okay. Anyway, so today's word, today's message this morning is I got it here someplace. It's called 6 words. How many words does it take you? And I give you this as a point of motivation on Monday morning. I only do this once a week, one day, just Monday morning, just so you know, so you can. Because sometimes we forget that other people have tough times too. Other people have tough times too, and there's nobody that you meet walking down the street that isn't having problems. No one. Everybody. The severity of the problem may be a little different, but to a baby, not getting her bottle is some serious stuff, right? It's serious. But to you and I, if we have to go ask for a bottle, people are going to look at us like we kind of crazy, right? Okay. It's about where you set in life, the way things bother you. Okay. So this right here is a nice thing. I think you'll learn something from this if you get it. And then we'll come back. I've got a guest coming up at 8 o'clock. Mr. William Green, former city council member, is going to discuss with us why he doesn't think that the $375 million bond issue is a good thing for Montgomery. That's his word. I mean, that's what he thinks. I'm trying to think one. I don't know if it is or not, but he explains it a lot better than I do, since he was a member of that prestigious body. And of course, I'm going to be a member of that prestigious body, so I'm learning all I can. Yeah, I know there's 14 people running. I know it, but of course, I am the most charismatic and know more about that business than just what anybody does. Okay. Because I've had an opportunity to interact with governors, senators, congressmen, city council people, from Emory Farmer on down to whoever's in there now, which is Stephen. Mr. Stevens, Mr. Mayor. So yeah, there's nobody running that have more interaction with any of these people than I. I'm just because I am trying to be, want to be, should be the man, but I'm not yet. So anyway, so let's go to my thing here, and we'll talk about that. And you can ask me anything about my politics, whatever. I don't really care. But now just remember, guys, just remember this. We don't always have to agree on everything. And I rarely will agree with you on anything because I'm a different kind of thinker. You know, somebody once said that if the definition for insanity is keep doing the same thing you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always gotten. Does that remind you of anybody, any group of people, anybody that you know? I'm changing. Why are you still stealing? Well, I haven't changed that much. Okay, then. So we'll be back. Uno momento. And we're going to talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about today. That's cool. Okay. But next up, 6 words. There are a lot of words that can change your life. It don't take a whole bunch of them. Sometimes it just takes 6. We'll be back right after this to get into some politics, culture. Hey, I walked a lot this weekend. I did. I walked a lot. Went up on King Hill. Now I know why they call it a hill. It wore me out. It's hot up there, man. It was hot. But I did meet some people up there who see me on Hagler's show. I said, well, right on. Appreciate that. I don't know if they like me yet or not, but they may not. I don't know. But they wasn't nice. They wasn't mean to me. They were nice to me, so I appreciate that. Anyway, so hang loose. We shall return. Uno momento. 6 words. Sometimes that's all you need.
Ernest Hemingway, who was a prolific author and writer, who knew the power of words. Ernest Hemingway made a bet with a group of authors over lunch. And this bet that Ernest Hemingway made with these authors over lunch has become an anecdote about his life. They bet Ernest Hemingway $10 that he could not write a short story in 6 words. They bet Ernest Hemingway $10 that he could not write a short story in 6 words. And Hemingway took the bet because he was a genius when it came to making words count. He took the bet and he took a napkin and scribbled these 6 words on the napkin that are a powerful story. Here's the 6 words that Ernest Hemingway wrote a short story in 6 words. The words are for sale, baby shoes never worn. That's a powerful story. Everybody in here this morning got a 6-word story. Here's another story that somebody might have. There has been a terrible accident. Six words. There has been a terrible accident. Six words. Here's my 6-word story. I'm leaving. The marriage is over. Here's somebody else's story. Your position is no longer needed. Here's somebody else's story. I just want to be friends. Here's somebody else's story. The cancer isn't responding to treatment. Six words. Here's somebody else's story. You are not able to conceive. That's somebody else's story. Here's the last story. Here's a rose off the casket. Six words. Did I say it was over? No, it's not. Because God has 6 words. That's the point of this whole sermon. God will not waste your pain. God will not waste your pain. God will not waste your pain. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. God will not waste your pain. Cry in the midnight, but weeping will endure for a night. But joy will come in the morning. Let them fire you on your job. No weapon sown against me will be able to prosper. Let your enemies think they have the upper hand. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. But God will not waste your pain. Go through whatever you got to go through. Cry as long as you think you need to cry. But then pick yourself up, take a bath, put some clothes on, come back to church on Sunday morning and said, I thought I'd never stop crying, but the Lord dried my tears. I thought I'd never laugh again, but here I am in the house of God, testifying that if you trust and never doubt, he will surely bring you out. Somebody got a story that I just mentioned a moment ago.
You know what I've noticed about God's trials? He hardly ever tells you, this is a trial, and if you hold out for 6 months, you'll be through. And some of us get to 5 months and 29 days, and we give up. We didn't know we only had 1 more day. Never give up. Never give up. Never give up. There's no precedent in the Bible for giving up. God determines how long the test will last, not we. Never give up. You cannot bypass endurance. You know whom I'm speaking to at the moment? Me. You cannot bypass endurance and enter into the promises of God. You can come so far, but the completeness is only through endurance. And just when it seems impossible to hold out, that's the time to hold out. Don't give in. I would like to say that to several of you individually. You're in the test. You're doing all right. Just hang in there. Don't back out. Don't give up. God is faithful. I've been asked sometimes if I had a message to leave for posterity, what would it be? I always say I can give it to you in 3 words. God is faithful. God is faithful.
God will not waste your pain. God will not waste your pain. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. God will not waste your pain. Cry in the midnight, but weeping will endure for a night. But joy will come in the morning. Everybody here. Everybody here has a 6-word story. But thank God, that's just one chapter. God has not written the end of the book. Because when you look in the back of the book, there are some answers in the back of the book. If you don't know how things are going to turn out in your life, the answer is in the back of the book. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven like a bride dressed up for her husband. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. There shall be no more sorrow or crying, no more pain or death, for the former things are passed away. Behold, we see through a glass darkly, but one day face to face I will know even as also I am known.
Next word. Sometimes that is all it needs. Good morning. Hope you enjoyed that. Okay, now this has got to be wrong. Somebody says we had 2 people killed this morning. I mean, this morning just got here. So how we had somebody killed already? You know, I mean, how's that possible? I mean, the morning just got here a few hours ago. So I mean, really? Okay. Well, I haven't seen it come across my desk yet. So there could be. There could be. I mean, what do you mean 2 more killed this morning? We are like, yeah. The question is, you know, I know that we all try to understand why people do these kinds of things. We try to understand. There are probably as many reasons as there are people. Oh, this weekend. Okay. Somebody said this morning, 2 more killed this morning. Okay, that's okay. I didn't think this morning it happened already. They were, yeah, I know about those, and I don't know why people, you know, I don't know why, but I do know one thing. There's a woman, a family that just got $105 million from people who make ghost guns, and I had never thought about that. I mean, I've always heard the expression, but I didn't really know what a ghost gun was. Well, what a ghost gun is, it is a weapon that can be made at home. with a 3D printer, and they got these kits. What you do, and the federal government does not regulate these things. So the same government that complains sometimes about all the violence and all the things that go on is partially responsible for some of it going. Why are we allowing people to make guns at home? I mean, I love technology. It's a great thing, but all technology is not good. Okay. A Ghost gun, a woman just got $105 million settlement. A Ghost gun is a privately made, unserialized firearm that is, well, essentially untraceable. Okay. They are built by unlicensed individuals using part kits, 80% finished, okay, and receivers or 3D printers because they are not made by federally licensed manufacturers. They lack the stamped serial numbers on some of these weapons, and you can't track them. You just can't track them. And so we are so you can buy kits that are already 80% a gun, no serial number, and you take a 3D printer or whatever you're going to do, and you make the rest of the parts. It's just kind of it's kind of crazy, Yeah, I'm almost ready to get rid of the Second Amendment. I really am. I'm almost ready to get rid of it, and just let only people who in law enforcement or in the military have it. What's going on there, Simply Days?
Good morning, candidate.
Yes.
Did you put out any signs this weekend?
I walked door to door this weekend. I met my potential constituents.
Well, good job. You out there pounding the pavement.
In the hot sun, absolutely.
Doing it old school way.
Yep, because I don't have all the money to pay everybody else to go to school, so I'm doing it myself, time being. But I got working on a couple of things, but I'm waiting for the last 2 weeks to push, since it's a short time. So
you're gonna wait till late in the fourth quarter to push it across the goal line, aren't you?
That's the goal here is just because Americans have 15-minute memory. So you go you give them something, next thing you know, you go by the next day and it's in the garbage can. So
oh yeah, I mean it's all in the moment. It's all what's in front of your view, your eyes, until the next thing comes along.
Yeah. So
you brought up ghost guns,
Mm-hmm.
and talking about the lady getting the large verdict. Why don't we use that same thought process with Hollywood, movie studios, the actors that make all the violent movies that show those weapons, the shows that do reenactment, the show how to people to blow up a house with a propane tank and why don't we hold those people accountable?
That I can. We are going to have to revisit the Second Amendment. I hate to even say that, but everybody don't need a gun. As a matter of fact, somebody said the other day, and maybe you're a police officer, so you can tell me what's the reason, since this is not Iraq, it's not Afghanistan, it's not Beirut, it's not Lebanon. Why would anybody carry a gun in the streets anyway, unless it's to shoot somebody? I mean, what's the reason?
I mean, everybody's got an individual choice, decision, thought process about carrying a gun, whether they carry it openly or carry it concealed. And I mean,
but the rationale is because I may have to shoot somebody. You're certainly not going to be duck hunting on Dexter Avenue or Coliseum Boulevard. You're not duck hunting. You're not shooting dogs. You carry a gun to either harm, hurt, or kill somebody. There's no other reason for it.
Well, people used to carry guns for other reasons than that, and they would get stopped by law enforcement. But I mean, it's just like back in the day, you're talking about the assault weapons. They had the Thompson submachine gun, and you could
what
purchase
happened.
one.
And look what happened.
You could purchase.
So
You could purchase one and have it in your home.
yeah, in your home, I'm good with. In my home,
And-
not a problem. But why?
And if you had a permit, but it's just like we used to take our guns to go hunting, and we didn't shoot anybody. We kept them in the vehicles at school.
Well, I did too.
I mean, it's
I
just-
did too in the high school. We did too. I used to go out in the thing all the time and see kids out there with shotguns and because they go hunting. They never hunted at school, but at least not that I know of. But yeah,
And it's just like boys used to carry a pocket knife.
Mhm.
They carried a pocket knife to whittle with. They carried a pocket knife to open something with. They carried but they don't carry the knife. You can kill somebody with it. You can stab somebody, as we know with case in Texas, 2 boys. But it's all about, why are you carrying that weapon? Why do you need to carry? And criminals have carried weapons concealed,
and they'll continue,
forever.
right? And they'll continue to do that. But I tell you something, I'd rather have one category of person that I've got to worry about with a weapon, as opposed to 15 categories of people who are now carrying guns.
Well, this is a former law enforcement officer. I'd much rather face the adversary, see what he's got, know that he's ready to do battle or defend his turf or whatever he's going to do. I'd much rather know he had it and can see it and watch his hands, rather than him have it in his waistband or behind his back. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah, and again, though, the only reason why you carry a gun in America is to shoot somebody.
Well, not necessarily. Some people carry it as a security blanket, and they feel that if they have it, that they're able to neutralize the threat if somebody attacks them.
And some people are 5'6", and with that gun, they think they're 6'5".
And according to the mayor, violent crime is down, and according to what we're hearing, it's down. So giving people right to carry a gun openly, which they always had. I mean, they always had a constitutional right to carry a firearm openly. They just didn't have the right to carry it concealed.
Yeah.
So
and now you can carry it openly or concealed with no consequence until you actually use it. We don't know if you got it. We don't know if the state knows you got it. We don't know. I mean, in home.
Well, if you got it out in the open, the state knows you got it.
Oh, and most of the time that's too late. I'm just. You don't think we need some sort of appendage to the Constitution on these guns?
Well, let's look at the state of Illinois. You know where Soldier Field is? It's in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
It's been there since 1926, I think. But they're moving. The Chicago Bears are moving not to another city in Illinois. They're moving to the state next to them. Crime, and they're downtown in Chicago. So crime is so bad in Chicago that a football team that's been there since the 1920s is moving to get away from the crime, just like stores and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But the state of Illinois, the point is, Mayor, the state of Illinois has got the most prohibitive, restrictive gun laws in the country.
And it probably got one of the most crooked police force in the country besides New York. So I don't know if that means anything, but
well, there's a long line of crooked folks that come out of Chicago.
Yeah, so, I don't know.
But think about that. I mean, you're going to turn the city. You're going to let the people good folks of all races, all creeds, all religions. You're going to push them aside to let these folks do what they want to in the name of social justice.
But they're doing it anyway. They're doing it
Well,
anyway.
yeah.
And with everybody carrying gun again. Now in your home, I say, hey, go for it. Put in your house whatever you want to. I don't think you have a right to defend your domicile and you have a right to defend your home. But other than that, the only reason why people carry guns in the street is so they can shoot somebody. There's no other reason. We don't duck hunt in the
Well,
street.
when we take all the guns,
I know. Then
except for the ones,
I know. And that's
the criminals will have the guns, the rich folks will have the guns,
and that's the
state
conflict.
will-
Right.
the
That's
state will have the guns.
yeah. And that's the conflict. Yeah. So.
But in closing, Mayor, the sheepdog, whose number one job is to guard the flock. That's his job. He gets up every day coming to work, knows he's supposed to guard the flock.
Mm.
He doesn't consult. He doesn't ask for the flock's opinion because he knows the wolves
Well,
don't care. The wolves don't care.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Bears thing here. I may can go home now. They're moving to Hammond, Indiana. Let me see. Indiana Bears. Somehow that just don't have the same.
No, and they changed all these crap. But anyway, I bet you they're gonna need a new PA man. I bet you they're gonna need a public relations man.
You know, I need to call up there and see if I can.
You,
Wait. After the next 4 years, I gotta serve the council first. Yeah.
Well, you got to serve the council first, and you got to make major changes in Montgomery before you leave out.
My legacy is going to be Elk Dog help make us feel safer. He took everybody's gun.
Have a good day.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, I took everybody's gun. Anyway, it's a tough subject, especially here in the South. People think that their gun is part of what they're born with. I just don't happen to think. I just don't. And I love guns. I love them. I love a 9mm, boy. Just as I like holding that thing, like I like holding other things. I love it. It just feels good, weighted right. But again, I know how to use one, and I don't get impulsive about it. You know, again, the only reason why people carry guns is to shoot people. In this day and time, I mean, there's no other reason to care. There's no other reason to walk around the city of Montgomery with a gun, unless you plan on shooting somebody or you think somebody's trying to shoot you. That's the only reason. I can understand home. Have as many guns in your house as you want to. Somebody try to break in there, you need a gun in every room because you don't know which window they're coming through. Yeah, pop them. I got no problem with ownership in homes. None. No license, no nothing. But if you take that sucker from your premise, from your domicile, I think you need a license to walk down the street with it. I'm just sorry. And I'm absolutely 100% sure that the founding fathers of this nation did not intend for us to walk around with guns where we are. They used those guns for protection against an encroaching government, which is one of the reasons why the Second Amendment was put on the books anyway, to protect themselves against the government. But that's okay. Well, wait a minute. They don't have to think about invading us. We're shooting our own selves. All they're gonna do is like the jackal is wait on the side of the road for somebody that killed somebody, and then they're gonna come clean it up for you like vultures. They don't have to. We're doing it ourselves. I mean, why in the world would you do something that the people are doing for themselves? Really, you wouldn't. You wait around long enough, and it'll be over. Mm-hmm. It'll be over. And then you got this guy in New York who's convinced idiots up there that socialism is some sort of great thing. Okay, I mean, yeah, I mean, okay, I don't know. You know, most people don't know socialism. Socialism is where you work and the government decides what happens with your stuff. The only part about the government that I want to change is the Second Amendment. I just think we need to. Again, I came up with a bill. You got to be at least 25 years old to carry it. Now, as I get done with the city council and run for Congress, I'm gonna run this up there. 25 to carry it. Okay. Only time you get a carry gun. Well, excuse me. 30 years old to carry the weapon. And the only time you get to carry less than that, when that at a lower age, is when you have served in the military. At least I know you know the back end from the back end from the front end. Okay, theoretically, no. Okay, well, I think, and you got to have a license. I'm sorry, you got to have something to show the man. And when you carrying it, you got to have that license on right around your neck. So it's like a badge. Okay, you got to have you got to go through it, and you have to have psychological testing to see whether or not you have the mental ability to carry a gun. Okay, so I mean, we got to do something. I'm tired of young girls, young babies getting killed. I heard of another in some state getting killed because grown people act like fools. And I'm telling you something, if you're already a fool, putting a gun in your hand makes you a bigger fool with a gun. Okay? I know our founding father didn't plan for this. I know the people who came up with this, the Second Amendment, had no idea it was going to be this bad in America. They had no idea. As a matter of fact, back in the early days, if you were 16 to 60, you were automatically considered part of the militia. Okay? Somebody said you need a psychological test to run for office. Maybe so. But you can't shoot anybody running for office. Well, I guess you could, but we wouldn't do that. And I don't know why we as Americans don't see this. Really, I don't understand. I'm not saying take away guns, but have one in your house. Put it in your house. Now, the problem with that, you're going to find you're right. You'll find somebody who won't obey the law then either, and they'll go out and still carry. I got you. And again, my theoretical law has not been, shall we say, vetted yet, because there are probably some other things I'm missing out of this thing. But we need to do something. Okay, something. I don't know what. Now, one of the things we ought to do is make sure your gun can only be fired by you. And I do believe that the technology is available to make that happen. Unless it don't happen one day when you're trying to do it. but make your gun personal to you. Like you can't, kind of like a key that goes in certain cars. You know what I mean? Keys. So I don't know. We ought to do something. I don't know what. But we certainly ought to do something. Okay, something. I don't know what. Anyway, good morning to you. So I went out this weekend, and I'm walking up in King Hill. That's an interesting place up there. I'd never been up there. You know, I always heard about it, and I thought they didn't have. What do you call that stuff where sewage goes to the sanitation plant? I thought they didn't have it up there, but they do. So it took them a long time to get it up there, from what I understand. Because when I got here in '91, a lot of people were complaining about it. Maybe I was Madison Heights. I don't know where it was, but anyway. So, they doing all right up there. You know, they doing all right. They could use a little help up there. They really could. But talked to people up there and went around town and other places in District 3, and knocked on a couple of doors. And you ever heard of me? Nope. Okay, well, here's my flyer. So I didn't take it for granted that I was just although I am somewhat well known in certain neighborhoods. But I didn't take it for granted that people know you, because you got to be humble. Remember, I told you the one thing that we have lost touch with is humility. And you will never see anybody ever tell you that I was an arrogant snob. Now, at some point in life, I may have been. I will admit to you, we all have to grow up, and we all have to learn the hard way. We all have to learn that we're not as important as we think we are. Okay, we're just not. And let me tell you about my sponsor before I get to anything. Don't forget, our sponsor is Montgomery Computer Services, 334-277-6902. Montgomery Computer Services is a organization. It's down on Atlanta Highway, and where they're located at? They're located at 5141 Atlanta Highway, 277-6902. If you have a computer and you need it, especially if you're a business. They kind of specialize in businesses, and I do mostly personal PCs, but they do businesses. If you got a problem with a network, you have a problem with your wireless not doing what it's supposed to do, or you using a machine that's 15 years old, 10 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're a business and you got a machine that's 10 years old, it's time to trade it out. Because what's going to happen when it does get time to trade it out, it's going to break down, and you, my friend, will be up the creek without a paddle. So you call these guys at Montgomery Computer Services and see what they can do for you to make your life do. And software. A lot of you people keep holding on to software that's 25 years old. Well, at some point, you're going to get an upgrade, okay? And when you get the upgrade, it's not going to work on your old machine. So you might want to think about upgrading a little bit. I've seen these guys go to people's business with 15-year-old computers running DOS programs, DOS, this operating system, DOS programs, trying to combine them in today's environment. That horse, just like someone said, that dog ain't gonna hunt. So call these guys up, let them come take a survey and see what you have. The best time to have somebody come look at your computers is before they break. Okay, and always back up your data. Whether you're on a network, back up your data. If you don't know how to do it, if you can't figure out how to do it automatically, Tyler and those guys can figure out how to come there and get it done for you and have it back its own self up. Okay, backup is one of the most important things you can do when you deal with a computer, especially if you are in a business. It is too late to call me or call them when it breaks. Okay. So. Yeah, I don't know about that. Willie. I don't know about that. But anyway, so give them a call. Montgomery Computer Services, 277-6902. 277-6902. You can't beat them. Great folks, good people. They just do great things with computers. Now, one more. My main charter sponsor of our show, of course, is who? None other than come on, you know who it is. You know who it is. Okay. One Stop Wireless. You got a cell phone. Now, the one thing they do that I really like what they do, they can take an old cell phone and put their system on it. Even if it's been sitting in the drawer for a year and a half, they can put their system on. Oh, you got to have the cord to go to charge it up, though. And that way you don't have to go out and buy another telephone. If you're like me, every time the iPhone 1 came out, I bought that. iPhone 2 came out, I got that. iPhone 3 came out, I got the iPhone 4, I got that one. And then all of a sudden, 11, 12, 13, 14, okay, I got the 15 and I stopped. Because I figured it out that all I'm doing is just making Apple more money. They're the only trillionaire company in the world almost. They're worth $1 trillion. Okay. Well, they got enough of my money now, and I'm done. So now you don't have to trade phones every year. If all you're doing is saying, hello, how you doing? You're sending a text and you're taking a couple of pictures. Hey, most phones are good for doing that. And if you go down to One Stop Wireless, if you don't have a phone, they got phones, even phones that are free. There are certain conditions on a free phone, but they do have one. But they got Apple. They have Apple. They have Google. They have Samsung. They have all kind of phones. Where they located? Where are they located? I'm glad you asked me that. Okay, I'm glad you asked me that. 3445 Atlanta Highway, right on the corner of Atlanta Highway and Coliseum Boulevard. Okay, go by there today. Tell them we talked about them. They're really good folks. I'm just telling you that. And again, if you wonder whether they use the same towers that everybody else uses, so there's no degradation, in the service. Okay, I took my phone, and this was 6 years ago. I took my phone from those guys and went all the way to South Bend, Indiana, with it down the highway. All kinds of, never lost touch with anybody. Okay, it was like I was in Montgomery. Okay, I'm just telling you, good service. And $25, $35, $45 a month. You pick the plan that you want, just like those other people do. but they're right here locally. And I tell people, always try to do business with people that are local, because that way, if something happens, you can go to them. Okay, you don't have to call somebody. What you say? What you say? What you say? Not making fun of them, but they don't speak English, and the little English they do speak, we can't understand them, and they can't understand us. Do American. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Local businesses. Okay, they'll help you when your house burns down. They'll help you if your child gets sick. They'll help you if you need some help. Okay, Walmart, you got to put in triplet kits and send it to somewhere in Arkansas. All these big places like that. Do business local when you can. It's tempting to go to Amazon. I'm with you. It's tempting to go, but it's not always the best thing. Do business local, because when you get that phone and it's not working because somebody stole it out of the box, or because it was trampled on and you don't know it, yeah, do business local when you can. Okay, and most of the time you can. All right, I'm just saying. So call these guys up, 320-2988, 320-2988. One Stop Wireless. And you can pay your bill there, your light bill, your water bill, and all kind of things there. Right on the corner of Atlanta Highway and Atlanta Highway and Coliseum Boulevard. Okay. Now I'm still waiting for my good buddy to show up, Mr. Yeah, it's 8:00 already, because I meant he's going to be here at any moment now. So he's going to tell us why he thinks that it's a bad idea to go for the $375 million bill bond issue that the mayor wants. I'm not really for it. It's kind of like buying a new car every 2 years, like I used to do. All I did was take my new car, pay twice as much for it, because I hadn't been done paying for my old car yet, and it just took me a while to figure that out. And a lot of there's my good friend right there. So we are going to join him in a conversation, and he used to be on the city council, for those who don't know that, and so he is here to tell us about a little bit about why he thinks that it's not such a great idea. Good morning, Councilman.
Hey, what's up? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Hey, I'm out here walking, so if I seem to be looking around, just know that I'm outside.
You scared of getting robbed or something? I mean,
Nah, I gotta watch where I'm going.
oh, okay. Well, why don't you just sit down for a minute somewhere by a tree, and you don't have to walk. I mean,
I'm walking to somewhere to sit down, so don't worry about it. We can
Okay.
talk. I can walk. I can do two things at one time.
Okay. Well, Marines, they've been known not to be able to do that, but I ain't mad at it. That's okay. Anyway, so there's a lot of conversation going on right now in Montgomery about the mayor's $375 million bond issue. There seems to be a divide on the city council at the moment. But I heard over the weekend that he has the votes to pass it. Is this a good idea in your mind?
No, I don't think it's a good idea. Strictly speaking, when I looked at it, I looked at the budget, right? And as you know, we don't have any reserves. And
Well, I
as
thought we
well
had
as
$65 million. Wait a minute, I thought we had $65 million reserve.
No. If you look at the budget, all of the money coming in is also being spent. So I think it's I'm now had a number. Let's say 375 million revenue, and then 375 million of expenditures. So nothing's going to the reserve. So we don't have any room. Then, I mean, to me, first of all, I like to say, I think it's a good idea to have something like that, an entertainment venue, because when I was growing up, and I'm old enough to remember, we had the Montgomery Civic Center over in that same spot. And I remember going to a lot of concerts there. I even performed there at one point. So I think it's a good idea that we should do something like that. However, I just think we need to take care of other issues first, right? For example, we got issues with garbage trucks. We got issues with the police cars. Like the other day, I don't know the other day, but I've heard from a good, reliable source that 5 police officers had to wait for other officers to get off because they didn't have cars. They have a lot of police cars that are not working, so they need to buy police cars, and those cars can run as much as $100,000 a piece. So, I mean, we're talking about police officers, but even we had 200 additional police officers, we don't have enough cars or vehicles for them. Then, of course, if you walk around the city, you'll see that grass needs to be cut in the common areas. I mean, for example, if you get off on 65 South on the boulevard and come up, say you're coming through there to get on Troy Highway, the city looks bad. There's a lot of other things that we need to take care of before this. I always said if you want to attract investors, you have to make the city attractive to investors. So I think there are a lot of high priority things that we need to be dealing with way before this. And I think that the business of the city is not in, but and just we would have to even get to the point far outweighs taking on an additional $20 million per year in payments. Also, you got to look at the fact that if we do take on that, and we are already short now, we can't find the funds to do what we need to do. For example, get a police officers raises, right, so that we can be competitive, so that we can attract police officers. We don't even have that kind of money. So if we take on $20 million a year, how are we going to realistically deal with the issue of not having enough police officers? We need to come up with revenue first to even to give them a pay raise, give them bonuses, give them what they need to do to make us competitive to even get enough police. We got to deal with that.
Your phone.
For example.
Yeah. We can't hear you too good. You might want to stay still.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Well, that's better.
Okay, I am. Yeah. So let's say, for example, we take on this $20 million, but then we need an additional $20 million to deal with the issues that we have today. So really, we're looking at $40 million, almost $50 million.
Where did $20 million come from? It's 375.
No, you don't understand. I'm talking about debt service, right?
Debt service.
So
Okay.
what you're dealing with is, yeah. So you get 375 million. Now in the budget, you just picked up another approximately $20 million in debt service that we have to deal with. So that's what we're looking at. I mean, you got to look at that. Now, that's my whole thing. Can we afford it? Right? I mean, it's a good idea. I mean, you know, I think something like that would do well in terms of bringing people here. But at the same time, you got to look at, okay, let's say, for example, you build that. Will that bring in $20 million of additional revenue per year? Will it pay for itself? And that's something that they haven't even come up with yet. You can say that I think it'll pay for itself, but you haven't shown how it's going to pay for itself. And then if the city is overrun with crime, you got 25% of the police officers that you need, right? How in the world are you going to even secure something like that? We saw what happened when they had those 3 events on the same day and all the people ended up getting shot downtown. So you don't have enough police officers to even cover something like that. You know, so that's the thing. I mean, that's just security, but I'm talking about how you're going to pay for it. Present a plan to say we're going to bring in businesses that's going to bring in $30-40 million of additional revenue, and we already got those deals signed. So what I would do is get those deals signed, get those deals in place, deal with the issues that you have now, such as police officers, get them pay raises, deal with those type of things first. Then you want to say, okay, now let's look at bringing this thing here. Like I said, I think one of the primary things along with security and safety is to make the city clean. I mean, the West Side has been all but forgotten. We talk about the West Side. We say we got, the city 70% black, but those are the worst areas in the city. So we need to come up with a comprehensive way to make sure that grass is getting cut. I drove over there by Southern Boulevard, took the side road and went to McGee Road, and what simply Southern used to be, so I took the back road. And that area looked like a jungle. I couldn't believe how bad it looked. I haven't taken that road in a long time. It's like nobody's cut that thing in almost a year. So what kind of maintenance schedule do you have to cut those areas, right? So I think you all was talking about it before, and they say, oh, that's the city. I mean, that's the state. And I think El Milliner, he put a thing out that said basically the state's job is to take care of the roads itself. All the grass and cutting and all that is for the city. So what are we doing now? We're just going to totally ignore it because we say it's not ours? Somebody got to do something. So those are the type of things that we need to deal with way before we start talking about let's bring a civic center, right? And then let's look at the airport. You're going to build $200 million for a doggone entertainment arena, but the airport, you got to land in Atlanta or Birmingham first, then drive another hour and a half to get there. So we're not going to get the major events that we need. We need, if anything, let's go and look at, we've been talking about it when I was in office almost 12 years ago about extending our airport so that when we extend our airport, we can get larger flights here and you don't have to land in Atlanta. So if you're going to do some things, you're going to put the city in, shall I say, borrow stuff, borrow it for that, not for the arena. But you got to come up with a plan. Present a plan to increase revenue, make the city safe, keep the city clean, to show how it's going to go down to the bottom line. Then implement that plan. Then let's get $20 million a year going into the reserve. Now we say, hey, let's go do X. I know we can borrow up to $618 million before our bond rating starts to decrease. But why do that for something that's going to debt service up to $20 million? That's all I'm saying. All I'm asking is, and once again, I'm not in office. I don't pay that much attention to it. So maybe they do have a plan, but present that plan to the citizens. And this is what I think, something of this size should be on the ballot, and the city should vote for it.
Somebody, Willie says that, what happened to you? He said, you're refinancing debt. When you trade in a car, you don't keep the same. Did I lose him again? Okay, I guess I lost him for a second. He'll have to get back in here in a minute. Let me see. Okay, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that. And
Okay.
what I was saying was basically, I think something of this magnitude should be put on the ballot. I think the people, the citizens of Montgomery should vote for it if they think that this is something that they should do.
Well, now, Willie says that if they're refinancing, but they're refinancing for a lower debt potential, a lower interest on payments. So what do you say? I don't know if you can see what he wrote.
I understand that. Yes, but nevertheless, okay. We even $10 million that you have to pay for. The point is, we're taking on additional debt without coming up and showing how we're going to pay for it. That's all I'm saying. I mean, look, the numbers, like I said, I don't have the details of it. I just estimate it. But what I'm saying is that this should be where the people vote for it, and then we set our priorities in terms of what we need. Every day people complain about crime. People complain about how dirty the city is. What's more important, a new entertainment venue inside a dirty, high-crime city? I just don't think that's the answer. But if nothing else, look, I'm not privy to everything. Get to the people how you're going to pay for it instead of just throwing that number up and telling, oh, we going
Well, he must be in a covered venue there, and we keep losing signal. But we'll get him back when we can. So somebody said when you're refinancing debt, when you trade a car, you don't keep the same car payment. It's refinancing debt at a potential lower interest rate. Of course, I realize that when we got some of these, of course, what I understand, when we got some of these loans, the interest rates at that particular time were a lot lower than they are now. So I don't know how you win. How you win. Right now, our debt payment every year is, I think, about $20 million. Whereas if we add more to it, then somebody said it's going to be double that. And that is actually a lot of money that you'll have to pay. Let me see if I can get him on the. Let me see this for 1 second here. Yes, Don.
That paying off debt's just crap. It's a talking point. Remember, I specifically asked the mayor how much debt he's planning on paying off and what's the interest rate on prior and the new, and he had no idea. They just say these things to try. Be honest. The whole thing is the rap center. He wants.
Why
he
you
says
keep calling a rap?
new.
I mean, wait a minute. Why you keep calling a rap?
I
center?
call it what I want to call it.
But it
You
ain't-
know,
But you do it as
you
a
call it what you want to
I know,
call
but you
it.
do it in a
You know?
derogatory way. It ain't a rap.
You know what I mean?
Huh? It's not a rap.
If
show.
I am, then it gets the point across, right?
Well, not
He wants
really.
something with his name on it. How much? They started off with Whitewater said it's going to be $40 million. How much did it wind up being?
But it went up a little bit.
How much?
what, 67, $70 million, something like that.
Huh?
67.
How much?
I don't know, 60 or
100 and something million dollars.
I mean, what,
If you don't think that thing ain't gonna be more than $200 million,
Mhm.
it's either a lie like Willie just told. Oh, we're gonna pay off debt. If you're gonna pay off debt, then tell us how much you plan to pay off. What's the interest rate on the old date and the new date?
Okay.
It's just a talking point. That is all it is.
Yeah.
It's BS.
All right.
And if
Let me get this guy right quick, and I'll get back with you. Are you out there now, Green?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's all that noise, man? What's up with that?
Oh, let me walk away.
Anyway,
Now I think,
okay,
yeah. First of all, I'd like to apologize to all your listeners. With my connection problems, I'm out here on base, and it's just the reception's bad out here. That's all. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, go ahead. Now you heard what Don was saying, that we're never going to pay it, which we probably never will pay off. Will we ever pay this off? Or will we be in debt service for the next 50 years?
I think we'll pay it off. Bond issues do have a time. It's not forever. So, however, what I do think is that, as I stated earlier, that it will hamper our other efforts to deal with the issues that people are complaining about. Right now, I just don't think that a new arena or entertainment was high on the list. I think there are other priorities, first of which is the police, dealing with that. And I think second is keeping the city clean, right? I mean, that's the first thing you got to do. When people come to Montgomery, they need to look around and see, oh, this is a nice looking city. Then, of course, there's things you might want to do with education. Not that we're over that, but that's one of the complaints. And then, of course, the airport. Airport was one of the issues that dealt with why we couldn't get certain things here. Then, of course, there's the hotel capacity. So if you're going to bring, I don't know how many seats they talk about in the arena, but let's say it's 20,000, right? So you're bringing 20,000 people here. A lot of folks going to need a place to stay. I mean, will they be able to stay in Montgomery, or will they even want to stay in Montgomery? Or will they stay in Prattville or Wetumpka and just drive to the thing? I mean, these are all kind of issues that we need to deal with to make sure that it'll work. I just haven't seen all that. First thing you need to deal with, of course, okay, do we have a hotel capacity? Show that we got it, number one. Number two, show that we're going to pay the security. Do we have enough police officers? Right? Number three, show that is the city clean? How's it going to look? If you're going to bring all these people here, how's it going to look? And then you look at the water park, right? Go ride by the water park. That grass ain't cut. It looks like a jungle over there, right? I remember when they were trying to get all that land. That land belonged to the Whitewater, but nobody's cutting it. Nobody's cleaning it up. I've traveled all over this world, and I've seen what good, clean cities can look like. Now, to all the people here that are saying that I'm attacking Reed, and I know this Reed had his, first of all, I think it's a good idea. Let's just say that. But I think it's at the wrong time, and we need a little bit more information. How are you going to pay for it, right? So those are the type of things we ask, and I just think those are good questions that are not yet to be answered. First of all, make your case to the people. Here's how we're going to pay for it. Here's the revenue it's going to bring in, and here's how we're going to take care of these other issues. Address those and say, hey, we taking care of this. Here's how we're going to take care of that. Therefore, we can begin on this because this is going to take 4 or 5 years to get done. Those are the type of things those are good questions, right? So I'm not attacking Reed. I mean, it's just a money issue. And if he got the votes, then you know what? I just think they're being irresponsible, right? Because I think it was 4-4 last time. This is going to be hard on the city for years to come, maybe decades. And then people are going to be complaining why we can't get any police officers. And they're going to be, well, because we got to pay them the lowest salary in the whole state because we got to pay this $20 million off. It's just going to be bad. I just don't see it being a good thing. It's going to really, I think Montgomery is really going to go down after this. Yeah, you got, yeah, it reminds you of the Roman days when everything was going bad. So they built the freaking doggone arena to entertain the people. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what this seems like. I mean, it'll be a nice little shiny little thing over there, but then doggone, folks still getting shot up. You can't get enough people to respond. 911 taking forever. I just don't see it. I mean, fix everything else first. Even if you don't fix everything else, at least not only are they not fixing everything else, they're gonna come up with gonna put handcuffs on the city to even be able to deal with it. Number one, and number two, the crime is gonna be bad. I mean, the other day I saw an article explaining why we got the white garbage trucks. You know why you got the white garbage trucks? because you only got one diesel mechanic. You can't fix the trucks that you have, so you can't put the garbage trucks out on the street. So you go out and you rent a garbage truck. I mean, we dealing with stuff like that, and then people don't see that should be dealt with first before we go and come up with $375 million. That's the answer to having to rent garbage trucks that can't fix garbage trucks. I mean, come on, man. This is common sense. This is not attacking anybody.
And I did ask him about the garbage truck and how come we can't pay these people. He said because civilian places pay more. Then I said, then why don't we pay more?
Yes, pay more, get better benefits, right? But no, if you're going to borrow $375 million, get that $375 million so you can pay more, so you don't have to go. You can get the garbage trucks you got fixed. Think about it. The man just said out of his mouth that they can't pay more. So we finna pick up $20 million debt for a freaking. The answer is let's go build an arena. It's just straight numbers, man. We got to get everything straight first.
However, let me be the devil's advocate here for a second. Okay. I'm not totally on board for the $375 million, but if we kind of like the Whitewater thing, if we have it, then people theoretically will come and use it. If we don't have it, we're never going to get anybody.
Okay, then do it. Okay, let's do this. Let's say, for example, he said if we have it, people come use it. What those numbers look like when you say using? Does that pay for itself? I mean, that's what I'm saying. So, okay, you saying people going to use it. So present people using it and what those numbers going to be and what expected revenue. Here's what we do know. We do know that the city or government people are not good at running anything. If they were good at running something, they'll be running the Whitewater better. You drive up and down 65 and 85 both ways. You don't see one sign advertising Whitewater.
Now that is
I drive heading to Buc-ee's. I see 15 signs before I get to Buc-ee's. Everybody want to pull over at Buc-ee's. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You go to Buc-ee's, Buc-ee's is packed, right? But they advertise everywhere. Everywhere you know, that's where you know Buc-ee's is. So we got people running that doggone Whitewater, don't even know how to market. Yeah, they built it. The doggone people ain't coming because they don't even know it's there. People drive down 65 both ways that would love a Whitewater. How they know it's there? You ain't from there. Folks coming from Florida, man. Those type of people you want to see. People coming from up Tennessee that do Whitewater cutting through. They don't know nobody knows that the thing is even over there. Then when you do go over there, the grass freaking 3 feet tall, look like a jungle over there, stuck off in the back somewhere. I mean, come on, man. That's what I'm talking about. So you expect now them to build an arena and all of a sudden now they're going to market it? That people don't even know their arenas over there? I'm not saying they're not going to get anything. But doggone, show me that you're going to market it and show me what those numbers look when the people come. Have they presented those numbers? We know what they're going to cost to build. But how much money? Because, you know, you're going to get hotel revenue, you're going to get gas and all that. But most people that know the reputation of Montgomery being number 6 on the crime murder rate per 100,000, we number 6 on that thing, right? So people going to be like, man, I'm staying in Prattville, Pike Road, you know, so we're not even getting the hotel revenue. They gassing up there. They ain't finna pull off getting no gas on certain areas. They definitely not going to pull off on Fairview. That's what I'm saying, man. There's certain things. Look, I'm not saying it ain't going to work. Show me. Then I can argue with those numbers. Say, oh, it ain't going to happen because this, but nevertheless, they're not doing it. They rushing. When did they even bring this thing up? Has it been less than a month? I think it's been less than a month. This thing just came out of nowhere. I heard about it 2-3 weeks ago, right? And what I'm saying is, it was just in passing. So I'm saying, why they rushing? This thing ain't going no freaking where. Why they got to vote on it so quick? Why they haven't told the people how they going to pay for it? They say, oh, if we build it, they going to come. What does those numbers look like? Right? Because I remember when we was looking at stuff, man, when I was in the city, we know an estimate because they were talking about we didn't have enough hotel capacity in. So I think you built maybe 1 or 2 hotels. That's it. But you talking about 20,000 people? I mean, you know, with the reputation like it is now, and people all, you know, racial strikes like it is, man, how folks going to, people going to Google stuff like, man, I ain't coming in. So that's what I'm talking about, man. If you build it, they come. What do those numbers look like? When you build it and they come, will it pay for itself? These are just good questions. Is it wrong to ask? And once again, I'm saying this, I ain't got anything against Reed. I'm just looking at this from strictly a financial standpoint. I think it's a good idea, and that's something that should definitely stay on it. But right now, let's deal with everything else first.
Now, you do have a experience in dealing with big budgets and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I work with Delta, Motorola, CSX, Metro PCS, government, all that. And one of the things we do, I have a degree in accounting, is we do financial reporting and all of that, and so there's certain things that you have to be concerned about. And one of the things I think is, in terms of cost cutting, let's look at purchasing. Because I always said that when I went into a client and I said, look, your biggest saving can be looking at how you purchase things, right? For example, you can get price breaks, vendor performance. You can go out and look at, compare one against another and get it cheaper. Oh, it's all sorts of things. The city is a huge buyer of, just say office supplies, right? You can negotiate price breaks on that. Whereas if you get up to 1,000 cases of, say, toilet paper, right, you should get about a 10% break. And then you get all that from one vendor and don't have everybody buying it from multiple different places so that those price breaks will accumulate. Then you got people that's charging more, having to charge you the same price for decades, and nobody's really looked at it. Because when you do purchasing, that's a legal obligation. So most companies, even like Delta, they don't look at it until the invoice comes in. That's when most people see it, because at that time, it creates a liability. But when you purchase it, it doesn't hit the accounting yet. However, in encumbrance accounting, which is what the city is using, you do have to have the money there. But nevertheless, though, it still doesn't really, people don't really look at the analysis of it until they get the invoice, and then they have to pay it. So after then, you've already bought it. You already committed. So those are the type of things you need to do. You need to look at vendor performance, KPI, see if they're doing what they're supposed to do. I think if we really crack down on the purchasing, and I don't know exactly about the system. When I first came in, the first thing I told Mayor Strange was, hey, we need to look at purchasing. So I tried to go in there and show the experience that I had and work with them. They panicked. I guess they were trying to say that I was saying that some of the vendors were not real. And I said, no, I'm not saying that. Let's just look at how we buying stuff and deal with it on that end and try to see if we can get at least a 3 to 4%, savings, which, that's huge in the $260 million budget back then.
Yeah, somebody said that there's been 5 hotels built since you have left office, so we seem to be going in.
Okay, let's just say the capacity of those hotels. Okay, let's say the capacity of the hotels is what, 150 each?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 750 people, right? You're talking to 20,000. I'm just saying, I don't know, 20,000 seat arena.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 750 people. Let's say, a third of them, since we want to do big events, going to be coming from out of town, right? So you're looking at 6,000 people that you're going to need to. I don't think, what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. People are going to be staying out of town. Most of the money is going to be staying outside of Montgomery, so we're not going to get those hotel fees. Look, here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I mean, when I grew up, I would complain the other day they shouldn't have torn down the Civic Center. Went to a lot of concerts there when I was growing up. So it's a good idea. I'm just saying right now, is crime still important? Is paying our police officers important? Which one is more important? An arena or getting our police up and securing the city so we don't have, we're not number 6
But
on the number of deaths.
I thought the problem with policing was not necessarily getting people, it's having people interested enough to want to apply for the job.
Okay, so let's look at it this way. How do you make it interesting? Number one, you definitely got to deal with the money.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's one thing. So then there's other issues, benefits, kind of live, schools, education. But we do know that one of them is definitely money, right? So there may be several other ways to do it, but we definitely know money is going to be one of those
But
parameters,
I thought
right?
the average police officer today makes $51,000 to start. I mean, that ain't chump change.
We're not saying it's chump change, but then again, what do you got to do for that $50,000?
Well,
Put your life on the line.
Well, hey, Marine.
When you can go, you can go somewhere else. Huh?
Didn't we put our life on the line as a private E1, E2 in the Army for
I think I made $600 a month.
Okay, I forgot I'm making $300 a month.
Here's what I'm saying: when you got an area where it's basically gladiators school,
Yeah.
you need to pay more. You need to pay more. Now, when I was like in Irvine, California, which was the safest city in the country at that time when I was living there, you ain't got to try hard because the police officers know worst thing they're gonna be dealing with is littering, right? But here you pull up on the freaking doggone man got a ticket, he likely to pull a Uzi out on you. I mean, you pull up a guy for a ticket, man, you think I'm being a life and death struggle. Now you got to pay those people more money. I'm saying you saying $51,000 ain't bad if you're working at a Hyundai. You understand what I'm saying? But if you're the police officer and you need to say, okay, we got to do something to bring them back. I mean, for example, let's say you want to pay them a $15,000 housing allowance when they come over here. So they move from, somewhere Tuskegee, and they come here, they get a $15,000 housing allowance so that they can, that stuff costs money. I don't know if they're doing it now, but if they need 200 more police officers, that's 200 times 15,000. That's about what, $3 million? So I mean, what I'm saying is this thing is money. You already got a governor that's coming in talking about bringing in the doggone National Guard. That's a high likelihood that Tuberville going to win. So next thing you know, when the National Guard show up, everybody's going to be screaming racism. No, you need to look at what are the moves that we made that required that we bring in the National Guard. So we can't get mad, man, when folks trying to keep the city safe. You already know Tuberville's talking about that. Yeah, we making moves that's going to keep it the way it is. So that's all I'm saying, man. Look, just show us how you're going to pay for it. That's all we ask. And if you're really serious about doing it, don't rush. Put it on the ballot. We got a election coming up in almost a year from now. Put that on the ballot. Let the people decide. Then when it results like we said is, we can't get our garbage trucks fixed. Can't get no new police cars. Can't get no new police officers. Can't cut the grass, clean the city up. Let us say, hey, man, this is what y'all voted for. Y'all voted for this. That way, city council, mayor, all them, is our idea. We put it on the ballot. We let you choose. And then we'll see. I suspect it'll pass, truth be told. But hey, I suspect the people would choose it. But nevertheless, the people want to be entertained.
But I will say one thing. Was it Einstein who says the definition for insanity is keep doing the same thing you've always done and expect different results. Do you not believe it's should Montgomery? The question is, should Montgomery take a chance on this or not? If it goes well, everybody's a hero. If it doesn't,
Okay.
then everybody's.
Here's what I'm saying. Yeah, take a chance, but take care of everything else first. That's going to increase the likelihood that the chance that you do take on this will be a success. That's all I'm saying.
Would you be all right with half of the 375?
Once again, what are you going to do with it? What are the results? What are the returns?
True.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean,
I borrowed $200,000 one time. Didn't have no plan with it. Lost all of it. Yeah. You gotta have a plan, man, to get a return on that before you even go sit down. Talking about. That's one thing about real estate. It's easy to go buy a house, no money down, but the most important thing is how you're going to get out of it, how you're going to make a profit. Many people look all happy about, let me go buy this house, right? But they buy the house. Next thing you know, the house in foreclosure because they never thought about the cost or what their exit plan was going to be. I think in real estate and any type of investment, the most important thing is how you're going to get out of it and what's the end result. Are you going to make money, right? Is this thing going to drag you down? And I think right now we're just looking in, we want to get in it. Nobody's thinking about how we're going to maintain it and get out of it and what the real cost is going to be. The real cost is not going to really be the debt. Maybe we can come up with a way to pay that $20 million. What I'm saying is they borrowing.
But it's $20 million. It's a $20 million a year. Yeah, $20 million a year you got to pay. Well, okay, so but if we get this loan, it's going to be more than $20 million. We're paying $20 million now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got to pay it. So we borrowing money to make the payment. So that already tell you we can't afford it. And I think they're doing the way they structured it, it's going to be interest only. So what I'm saying is, man, we already starting off wrong because we right now don't have the money to pay for it.
Okay,
so we borrow money to pay for it.
Explain that interest only thing to us so we can understand that.
All right, so what it is when you're doing interest only, you're not paying down the principal. All right, you borrow $1 million, right? I know a lot of this happened over in California because my house was like $1.5, $3 million over there, right? Mm-hmm. So what they do is they borrow it and they just pay interest only. And then if they got a low interest of 2%, you know what I'm saying? So you're only looking at probably $6,000 a month, maybe, right, on a $3 million house. And the real payment is going to be $15,000 to maybe $20,000 on that once you start paying the principal down. So right now you're just paying just the interest only on that loan, and they borrow the money to pay that. Now, once again, that's an idea that's floated out. I got some inside information that's how it's going to be done. Because right now we don't have the money to pay for it. Because if you did, we wouldn't net. Right now, all the money that's coming in is getting spent. So therefore, it's not like we got cushion of $7 million, $8 million that we're throwing down to the bottom line that we can use to pay that. So what we're doing right now is we borrowing that money because we don't have the revenue yet to cover the loan once we get it. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, you already borrowing money, and so that's how you're going to do it? I mean, it's a good question. Once again, it ain't nothing against Reed. Y'all notice I ain't said nothing bad about him. It's out of the attack ad. I'm just asking simple accounting questions. That's it. So you owe the people, who many are not, don't understand it, not thinking about it, you owe the people to break that down as simple as you can. That's why the video that I did was real simple. It didn't get into the accounting jargon and graphs. I was speaking slow because of AI, all of that. That's a simple thing. And I think if the mayor put something like that together and we can look at, make it plain, break it down so a third grader can understand it, then we'll say, okay, we want it. Truth be told, if they did break it down like that and still address other issues that we had with a plan to do that, so that when people do show up, they ain't going, man, look at this grass.
Yeah.
Man, why we're number 2 police officers? Man, that's when a fight broke out.
So
Whatever.
Let me ask you a question. Again, my profession is not yours. Let's say we get involved in the interest payment only thing for the time being. I would imagine at some point you have to pay on the principal, right?
Yes, sir.
And that principal payment is going to be a little higher than the interest only.
Yeah, because you notice even on your 30-year mortgage, what percentage go to principal?
Oh,
that's why people say you want to reduce.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say if you want to reduce your interest payments, make an extra payment. Some people even do 2 payments a month. I mean, something as simple as that can save you millions of dollars in interest. And along this side, tens of millions. So those are the type of things that you could do. I mean, if it works on a $250,000 house, it can work on something like this. But the point is, you're not touching the principal.
Okay, so here, okay. Therein lies, I think, if we're gonna have so what we're saying initially when we get the loan, interest only, if that's the way it is constructed, then it's gonna be easy on our pockets. But at some point, it's gonna get tougher.
Let me tell you something. If we didn't borrow the money to make those interest only payments, it wouldn't be easy. So we borrowed the money to make the payment. It's like you're gonna borrow a house, man. Buy a house. Sometimes you get a second loan,
right?
To a second mortgage to pay the down payment. Many folks ain't gonna do that, but like a lot of banks want to see you got skin in the game. You got to at least do something, 5% or whatever case may be. But if you borrowed the down payment, it came somewhere, they're gonna say you're not financially able to deal with that. So we borrowing the money to make the payment,
which gives us.
I mean, look, if they're not, I got this from good source, but if they're not doing that, then say that.
I think it's a question that has to be asked. Yeah, absolutely. It's a question. I never even thought of. I'm not a financial guy. Looking at my checking account, I can understand why. But I understand. So if we only paying it like I go buy a new car. Hey, you get a 2.2, a 2.5 loan rate.
Interest rate.
Yeah. Okay, well, right on. Hey, for the first couple of years, all you got to do is pay interest only. I said, right on. So I'm happy. I'm happy going out the door. But all of a sudden, 2 years go by real quick when you owe money.
Yep. And then the value of the car don't depreciate. Right. They don't even cover the loan. You owe $15,000 on an $8,000 car. You can't sell. You can't do anything.
Call the repo man, but you can't you can't repossess other things.
Hey, here's what I'm saying. I got to go back up in this in salt mines in a minute. So here's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this: the question that I put: can the city afford it? If the city can't afford it, then let's see. If you're saying we build it, they're gonna come, then show me how the people gonna come, and then when they do come, how is it gonna take? How is it gonna work? And then if there's a lag or 2 or 3 year lag in between before you finish and they come, because nothing, when you first build it, it takes a minute for it to get up to full capacity. So it could take 3 to 4 years before all of a sudden you got a book calendar. So let's show this, let's see what it looks like. And then, I think also at the same time, you need to rank this in terms of importance. If you think getting this, if they saying we build an arena, they're gonna come, we're gonna make so much money that now we can afford new police officers, new cars. So that means what? For the next term, that means August come, you all get back in office, you win. So that means for the next 4 years, we're going to be looking at this doggone city being like it is now until that money starts coming in. And once again, if some new mayor come in, that new mayor ain't going to have 200 police officers the first 4 years. It's a gradual working up. So it's, you may get 30 the first year, 30 the next year, stuff like that. It's going to take a minute before you get up to full capacity. That's what I'm saying. In the meantime, there's issues like that. You need to be able to deal with those things and show how you're going to deal with it. And then what about garbage? You got the white garbage trucks. Which one? Okay, look at it this way. You saying that the people paying more. How much does it cost additional revenue to rent those garbage trucks than if you just simply say, let me double the salary for our people. So now you're saying $150,000 for I think it might be worth paying them that much money. Paying them more money than anybody in the freaking city is paying for diesel mechanics. You have a line tomorrow. Tell somebody you're paying $125,000 a year plus benefits. And how much does it cost to rent those trucks? So you're looking at right now, we renting white trucks. Let's say it's costing us a couple of $1 million just to rent those trucks. Meanwhile, the one guy is still working on the truck signing, so you still got the repair costs, you still got everything, still making the payments on the trucks that you bought that's broke. I mean, this is what I'm saying. You're saying, well, it costs too much money. Then deal with that. Because if nothing else, if you double the guy's salary you got and then give another salary, at least you got two. You got two. And then if you do three, you got three. That's what I'm saying. So these are the things we're looking at. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you look at the city is notorious for giving some good benefits. So benefits alone, retirement, all that. You know what I'm saying? You can compete with these diesel mechanic folks. So that's what I'm saying, and that's how I think we should look at those, you know, in terms of saying how much does it cost to rent those things as opposed to how much would it cost to look at. I think what we're operating right now is it's not long-term planning, it's reaction. Like you react, you know what I'm saying? You reacting to the issue instead of saying taking a long-term approach. And don't get me wrong, people complaining, people mad, you know, and then look, 375 million, only 200 million going to the arena. What's the other 175 million going to?
I did see.
I mean, if you say we're gonna buy what is?
Well, something about housing infrastructure. I didn't quite understand that.
What the freak? Anyway,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah,
Police, trucks, cleaner. Know what that means? That's gonna be some. I ain't gonna say anything. I don't want to. Somebody's gonna get some big contract. That's all I'm saying, man. I just don't. That's what I'm saying. Housing infrastructure.
Well, I'll go back and look at it and see what it says. But I believe something said infrastructure. I couldn't figure out what that meant.
What's infrastructure? See, maybe they're going to pay for, because here's what happens. When you buy a piece of land, first thing you got to do is you got to go in and put in the plumbing, the draining, the sewage, the roads, all of that. So maybe they're going to put in a bunch of roads on some open land so that now they got the roads going through and then the sewers going through. Now investors may come and build a house. You know what I'm saying? Because that law, when the sewage go through, I think the city has to run the pipe to a certain point on that land. So maybe that's it. But what I'm saying is, meanwhile, we ain't got no police officers. We don't have no garbage truck. I mean, come on, man. What's more important? People won't let garbage pile up in the city. You will see people, man. Oh, we got an arena though, and we got housing infrastructure.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Do we have a housing shortage? And is it because we don't have the housing infrastructure? And if you do it, how many people? What I understand, people are leaving Montgomery. I mean, they going to Pike Road, Wetumpka, Millbrook. They going there. They getting outside of Montgomery. So I don't know. We got an influx of people trying to get here. So we got to build housing infrastructure. Now I could be wrong. I'm not looking at the numbers, but I hear people complain on your show all the time. I see it on social media, crying. Right? I'll say this too, man. And let me say this: no amount of police can police the people. They don't police themselves. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I believe the ultimate responsibility is not to pull your gun out and shoot everybody in the room. That falls on the person.
Yeah,
however, that's your responsibility. But however, there are people that will do that, and that's reality.
Yeah.
So there's certain things that we have to do. You know, so there's community things that we have to do to get those people before they get the mindset to say, I'm gonna kill everybody because they looked at me sideways. I mean, there are things that we have to do with that mindset and deal with. Let's get creative on that. I understand they had that gang thing that turned out didn't do anything, but a lot of money got missing. I think it's a good idea, but now you need to look at how to manage that and make sure you don't have a repeat of that.
Well,
so these are the type of things that need to be done, I think.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, one of the person running for, I think, Michelle Summers, she and I reached the same conclusion. She didn't know that we thought the same on this, but you know, culture. We've got to figure out how to change the culture, and I don't know how to do that. I don't know if the city can even play a part in that. We can give you the consequence for your bad culture, but we can't. That's going to have to come internally from parents and people from all over the place. But this culture, this rap culture, these young kids, I don't know where they got it from. I just
look. It started a long time ago, man. We didn't get here overnight. And I think it's not going to be a quick answer overnight. I would like to see the mayor, and I don't know if he does do it. And once again, I don't keep up with it. at least once a quarter, go to every school and sit down and listen to the young people and see what they need. Everybody say, oh, well, we need community centers. Man, when last time you drove past community centers, saw a bunch of kids outside playing pickup football or pickup baseball? These kids are different, man. They in the house playing Xbox.
Yeah.
Listen to the kids, man. Don't just go and say, oh, we're going to open up community centers. They'll come. The same thing. Let's open up community centers and they will come.
Well, we need to put
You know
some
what I'm saying? So
we need to put some
you open up
Xboxes.
community centers.
We need to put some
You open up community centers
Yeah.
and they empty.
But we need to put in the community. If we're going to have them, we need to put in the community centers what they want to have in the community.
Go talk to the kids. Go talk to the kids. Find out what they want.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, you say, okay, look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do X, Y, Z. But we're going to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to lock your parents up if you out here acting a fool at 1 o'clock in the morning. Man, you got to hold the parents. No, lock the kids up, man. Work with the DA. Work with the state. And I think if you go to Tuberville and say, hey, man, here's my plan. We don't need a National Guard, but here's what I need. And I need you to put pressure on the people to get me what I need down at the county and the city level and the state. And can I work with you to do that?
Right.
Because if you're going to bring the National Guard in, it's going to cost about $20 million to bring the National Guard in. If you keep me in for 6 months, that's a lot of money. So instead of you paying that $20 million to bring the National Guard in, give me that $20 million, and here's what I'm going to do with it.
And we can have some long-term, we can have some long-term solutions rather than temporary solutions to a long-term problem.
Yeah. So this is what I'm talking about, man. Look, all I'm asking is, and once again, no knock on Reed. I like Reed. Me and him, we have a good relationship. I use sometimes when I see him, I buy him lunch. I don't have any problem with that. And, if he's listening or get back to him and people that support Reed, I'm just asking questions. And we need answers before we vote on that. Can we afford it? How are we going to pay for it? And then if you say they're going to come, what do those numbers mean down at the bottom? And then let's see a schedule. You're going to borrow the interest, so you're going to be able to pay for 2 years. When is the development going to start? When is it going to be through? And how long is it going to take that thing to get a capacity? Because when you do any projections on business, you can't sit up here and say, oh, we're going to have full capacity day one. No business does that. It takes a while for everybody to know it's there, marketing, all of that management. Mistakes going to be made. You got to calculate the food, the electricity, which you don't know for sure yet. So there's so many variables before you can even say for sure. So most people, when they do feasibility studies, they're not very optimistic on that. And I'm just saying it's been a feasibility study. Put the feasibility study out there, man. Let's everybody look at it. And I'm talking not the feasibility of that business, but the feasibility in conjunction of the whole budget and everything else that's priority. You say you're going to address police officers, how are you going to address that, and what are you doing to address that? And put those numbers in there, because if you get 200 police officers, what does that mean 5 years from now? In terms of, it's $100,000 per car, and about $100,000 to train and pay when you throw in benefits and overtime. So you're talking $200,000 per officer, right? So you throw in 200 officers, what's that, $20 million a year? Whatever, $40 million a year. So this is the things that we need to look at, we need to address. So down the line, we got $40 million just to secure the city. That's before we deal with the garbage trucks and everything else. Let's say you say we can't afford it. So what's your thing? What's your thing to do that? Then a thing I put in too, we had an parks and entertainment budget that went from 0 2 years ago. Now it's almost $8 million. What is that? What are you paying for? Are we in the entertainment business now? I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. If that's $8 million that you're paying, how much are we getting in return for that? Are we making money on that? Is it breaking even? That you putting that much money into it? I understand maybe it's a new line item that didn't exist 2 years ago, right? So they separated it out, but it's $8 million, right? Last year was $197,000. Last year was $197,000 on that line item. This year in the budget, 2026, they budgeted $8 million.
Well, one of the questions I did ask the mayor, we budget, and I don't know if you did, for 400 police officers in the city budget. But
and the budget was $265 million back then.
So where's the money? Because we don't have 400 officers. So can you, at the end of the year, can you take that money and use it for other things?
Yeah, because most of that goes in the general fund, right? So there's no police budget. It's a line item in the general fund. So it's just priority. It's each administration decide what they want to spend the money on.
Right.
I think when COVID came, the city never looked good. But for some reason, when COVID came, they just stopped cutting grass. So over those 2 years, they never went back to put the money in it. That's why the city looks worse. I heard people that say, man, every time I come back, Montgomery looks worse. So they used to cut the grass to a certain extent, but now, once they moved that over somewhere else, they haven't put it back. It hadn't came back to say, hey, let's cut the grass and let's make the city look better.
Man, I don't know where
I
y'all
would like to
live,
see a
because
house.
I don't see that. Where I live, it looks
Dude.
all right.
All right.
Where
There,
y'all
look,
live? Y'all
go over off Carmichael. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. Carmichael, those kind of places you come off, man, for some reason they can find the money to get that cut. Right? So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but compare that to when you get off 65 or Fairview and those areas up in there and cut through those and see what it looks like. And I'm telling you why it's like that, because the people over there complain. Over here, we got used to it. So we don't say anything. But see, I don't think we need to operate on one side complaining, the other side not complaining. I think the whole city should look good, or none of it look good.
But
If
you
I'm
don't,
cutting grass on
you don't
Carmichael,
believe,
I'm gonna cut grass on Fairview.
right? But you don't believe that there is a orchestrated effort not to cut grass every place. But I mean,
I don't say
there's only so many
I don't say it's
people. You know, I mean,
I don't say it's a conscious decision,
yeah.
but like anything, man, if you got certain people complaining, they're gonna get attention.
Well, I mean,
We'll get, so everybody knows that, man. You got to keep, look, if people, like, for example, go in a convenience store on the west side, pull up, grass ain't cut, the stuff you see walking in is garbage in the parking lot. You go in, the floor ain't clean. The people treat you like dirt, right? Bad attitude. They mad, and you don't even know them. Then go over to another convenience store over on the other side of town. It's clean, grass cut, parking lot, because they know people ain't finna come in there if it look like that. You treat people bad, next thing you know, you out of business.
of course, now wait a minute. Some of our customers treat them bad.
Yeah, man, but nevertheless, they smile and take it. It's what you tolerate. So we tolerate it on the west side, and we don't have no expectation of the grass getting cut. And so naturally, we move money over where else. I mean, it's all this finite budget. We can't just print money. So it's a finite budget, and then you got your priorities on entertainment. So $7 million now, from $197,000 to $8 million for parks and entertainment. But none of that's going to cutting grass and paying them folks, those people. He said we can't pay enough, right? So instead of $8 million, man, take 200. Just say $6 million, and use the other $1 million to pay for your freaking doggone mechanic, so you can get your trucks fixed and don't have to rent white trucks.
Now, somebody just.
I mean, do we need that much entertainment?
Let me ask something. Is there any indication on the highways, on the byways, of what belongs to the state and what belongs to the city? Because if the state's not cutting it, then that's a state issue and not the city.
Nah, man. Look, I don't have the exact. And I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know that when I was in office. But
Right.
El Milner put that thing out there, and it was it's actually a state law that says that the responsibility of the state roads is the state to maintain the roads, potholes,
Right.
new paving, stuff like that. But for the other maintenance around it and stuff like that, that falls on the city that it goes through. That's not just a Montgomery thing. That's a state thing.
I just,
So because I remember when I first came in, I went to can't think his name. I said, hey man, give me some money so I can, because we need to do something about Southern Boulevard to make it look good, right?
Mhm.
And he told me straight out of his mouth, I ain't giving you nothing. So I laughed. I was like, what? This is fun. I was shocked. I thought that, I'm like, hey man, let's make Montgomery beautiful, at least the west side. And he said, man, I'm not giving you anything. I forgot this guy, he passed now. His wife or somebody in office. I can't think his name. But yeah, that was a response. All of them said that. You know, some of them don't even know that it's their responsibility. I thought it was. So those are the type of things that it's on us, and we got to deal with it. And we can sit up and say, oh, it's the easy thing to say, oh, that's the state. And then you move on. When the truth is, it's not the state. It's the city. But you can tell the people that it ain't my fault. You know, that don't make no difference, man. If you somewhere and you got a house, right? And, your neighbor there's an empty lot to the left, empty lot to the right. You complain, but you cutting your grass, people go down the street, your house looking bad.
okay.
I'm gonna cut both of them lots because
So let me
I'm trying to make my house look good.
Right. Let me ask you one more question. So, because Camilla's saying highways are the state of Alabama problem, but that's not true. Really, the state of Alabama has the responsibility of upkeeping the road, but not the grass. Is that?
Ask El Milner. I'll go find it. El Milner, he found it because he heard what the mayor said and he went and found it. And I was like, I didn't know that. I actually did not know that. So I mean, I think somebody need to do a better job of saying, hey, this says this says that. And you know, like I said, you know, if there's an old person next to you can't cut his grass, but you got you a $300,000 house, most people gonna cut their neighbor grass because when folks go down the street, it's gonna make the whole neighborhood look good. So right now we up here going, it ain't mine, it ain't mine, it ain't mine. So nobody's cutting. Right? And the state is responsible for the whole state, not Montgomery, Alabama. You got places up in Hoover and all that. So go over there and see if all that grass ain't cut. Man, there's certain places in the state where everything's nice looking.
But I would imagine we can go to any state capital and find grass that's not cut.
Dude, not. I'm telling you, man, I've been all over this freaking planet.
Well, I've been in a few
It depends
places.
on the people and the expectations. It depends on the people. You too. You've been in nice places.
Yeah.
How come they can? Because it's just priority. Some people prioritize city looking good and clean.
Well,
Because when people pull up, come out and open up a business,
maybe they think about getting shot over there.
that's another thing. So now we go back to police. I mean, it's a circle, man. What I'm saying is, you keep bringing up stuff. What I'm saying is, at the same time,
Yeah.
what's this $200 million for? Now, look, if we want to go in hot, and you say, man, I'm going to pay our police officers the best in the freaking state.
But aren't we
He's
doing
pay
that
this, he's
now?
gonna clean. I'll be mad. But I'm like, you know what I think that's going to do? I think eventually that's going to bring in investment. And let's say they're going to do something with a charter school system, man, that's going to make our, compete with the Montgomery, all that. So now we can get business that's going to come over here. I heard somebody say Maxwell, we was about to lose Maxwell at one point because of the state of the school. So we had to start giving them freaking, vouchers for private schools so that the officers would come here. It ain't gotten that bad. Then Hyundai was supposed to expand a long time ago. I don't know what they're doing now. They're doing something. But I remember one time the impediment to us expanding was schools. So maybe you can get with the county and the state, just like they got money, borrowed money to do that freaking to do that water park. Maybe you can get with them and then do a charter school system. Now you can offer specific type schools. That's a public school, but Montgomery Board of Education got a doggone stranglehold on it, and they ain't gonna let go. So now let's offer alternatives, right? You got AI being like it is. Offer a robotics school, right? My wife's on the state charter school board, and she approves it. She tell me some of the schools that are coming in to the state. We need to look into that and then come up with an alternative side-by-side competitive school system. So now when companies that come in and say, hey, we need we need people that good with math. So you open up a school, charter school, that's just going to do that. Go talk to Elon Musk, the richest man in the freaking world, man. Open up the first robotics engineering school named Tesla, right? Put it right here in Montgomery at Lanier. Those are some ideas that I would much rather see. And then just, the mayor say, man, we're going to borrow $10 million to make this school a robotics engineering, school, state-of-the-art school, and we're going to work with Tesla. Do that, because we already know that Tesla, and in the same, he's going to put a robotics engineering factory right here. And he's going to hire our kids right out of school. And in 4 years, we're going to start seeing them kids coming out, making $150,000 right out of school. I mean, this is the kind of thing I say, okay, yeah, I like that. Let's do that. And if Tesla puts something here in Montgomery, man, imagine all the other subsidiary businesses they're going to need to support Tesla. Just like Hyundai. You got Hyundai out there too, but you got other businesses around Hyundai to provide supplies. So we can look down. I think CC was one of the ones that brought that here. That's the type of things that I need to see. Not no entertainment. So that's all I'm saying, man. Can we afford it? We need to see it. And I think it should be a ballot initiative. That's what I think. But that $375 million going to stop a whole lot of things.
If the people decide, yeah, that's what we want, then I guess we can.
But I suspect they're going to decide, because people. Well, we need something to do, but they ain't looking. At least show how, when you do put on the ballot initiative, show how you're going to pay for it.
Mm.
We don't need to rush, man. They're trying to vote tomorrow on that thing.
Yeah.
I don't. Anybody go there and ask a question?
Yeah, I think they ought to take a little time and really think. I think you brought up some interesting questions. And first of all, are the payments initially going to be interest only? Because that means, yeah, we can swallow it now, but we'll be able to swallow it later on.
Or if it's not interest only, are they borrowing the money to make the first payment? Because we don't have no reserves. We don't have. I mean, it's for the budget. I understand we got some money, in the reserve. Just right now, no money's going to the reserve. Are we going to drain our reserves to get that, to make those payments, or are we going to borrow the money? That's what I'm saying, man. It's like, how you have oil reserves?
Yeah.
And when the war happened, then the president said we're going to release millions of gallons because we're not getting the oil in. Same thing. So all I'm saying is that I'm just asking the question, can we afford it? Go and look at that article I sent you, put it on your thing, and it gives a little bit deeper dive. I mean, I could have went deeper on it, on a whole lot of other things. I didn't talk about the garbage trucks and the whole. I might do an article on that, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
So at any rate, yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you stopping by today. That's good. We'll be talking soon.
And I appreciate, once again, to your people, man. It's not an anti-Reed thing. It's just a simple financial thing. Can we afford it? I don't see it. And I think the people need to be asking those type of questions. And no city councilman, no elected official should get mad when you ask those questions, or else this is just a project that they want to do while they're in office, and they don't care whether it's going to strap the city with. Or
Although you will agree sometimes to move forward, you must take a risk.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I think it's a good idea. I mean, I do, but I just think right now it's going back. Like there's a whole lot of businesses I want to start, but I can't start them right now. And I'm up here on base now because I've been working. You know me, I've been working for myself for years. But now I got it. The IT getting funny, so I got to come up here and take a job. Speaking of which, let me go ahead and see if I still got it.
See you. All right.
All right. Bye.
William Green, former city council person. Interesting. Well, it makes some interesting points. I mean, from a map, I don't know if we can really. Yes, Don.
Montgomery Whitewater, Willie Durham was a big part of that. Am I the only one that remembers that they promised us hotels and eating places along there, that the Porch Creek Indians were going to come and build a hotel? Am I the only one that remembers that? There ain't been one day that Whitewater has been open that it took in more money than it paid out. And if you got a credit card, Kevin, if you got a credit card with a $2,000 limit and you got $2,000 on it and you make minimum payments on it, what happens?
Well, you be paying it forever and you never pay the principal.
It's going to happen with an interest-only loan.
Well, I don't know. Now, he said he heard that. I don't know if that's true enough. It's interest-only loan, but he said he heard that. I don't know if it's true.
It'd be the most stupid thing in the world. People that have to keep up their households got more sense than just paying minimum payments on a credit card. They know they'll be in debt for the rest of their life. But, Willie, tell us about Whitewater, how you promised hotels and restaurants over there on Air Base Boulevard that the Indians were going to build over there. You wanted something better for Montgomery to bring the people. Tell us, Willie, you're good at this.
All righty then. Well, it was an interesting conversation anyway. There are a lot of things we don't know. The 300 and I don't know, 375 million MILLIL. Let me see, BOND. What is it that we want to spend it on? I don't know. Let me see what the media says. Montgomery, yeah, 375. Okay, I'm gonna stay a little longer because I gave him a little extra time today. Let me see here. Because I couldn't really figure out what we were, what we were actually going to do with it, according to the, what we're going to do. I got to put this in the system right quick. Okay. Sorry about that, guys, but I'm just checking it out. Montgomery lead, okay, potential 375 momentum. Let me see. Momentum. Then we got a 2040 bond. Montgomery leaders weigh in on potential $375 million bond. Montgomery leaders, blah, blah, blah. But what you going for? I don't think it's okay, so I don't have it on. I don't have here, Mr. Mayor. I understand that that's a ton of money, but if we borrow $375 million, we'll be real close to our legal limit. As a matter of fact, if they borrowed a 300, and from what I read yesterday, if they borrowed a $375 million, they'll have $12 million left they can borrow after, and they'll be right at the maximum loan they can do. And that loan is based on all of the, my understanding, it's based on all of the real estate that the city owns, I think. And so if we borrow $375 million and something happens and we need some more money, you only got $12 million left in your ability to borrow more money. So if the economy goes south and we didn't borrow $375 million and we need 20, we won't have it. We won't have the ability to do anymore. I'd say, why don't we try half of that? If we got to do it, let's try half of that. Okay, let's try 150 million. Okay, if we can make that work, then chances are at some point we'll be able to go back. That's a lot. I mean, because we only got 12 million. If the 375 bond thing goes through, we only have $12 million that the city can borrow from the bond market at that point. I don't know. I don't know. Don, I just got done talking to you.
I know, but the rap center is $200 million and up.
Okay, but why do you keep calling it a rap center? Never mind. I don't want to hear it. I mean, it's not a rap center. They're not going to bring a whole bunch of, at least I hope not, a whole bunch of rappers. As a matter of fact, we're too old to listen to that crap anyway. Half a rap center. Well, listen, I understand. I understand that some people just don't like the mayor. Okay, I mean, he could say we're gonna borrow. He can say that we're gonna get $10 million donated to us by the bond market, and somebody would be complaining about that. I got that. I got that part. And y'all make this personal rather than business. Me, I look at it like a car. I look at it like buying a new car and you got an old car that you haven't paid off yet. Well, you buy a new car, sure, but every dime that you owe, because I've done this about 3 or 4 times in the last 20 years, the money that you thought you were saving, you're not, because the old car payment goes into the new car payment, and now you got an old car payment that's depreciated, and the new car is not worth as much money as you got to pay for it because you got the old car folded into that one. Well, we already owe money. Okay, we already owe money, so I don't know. Okay. Let's do what the orange guy done. Well, I don't know. A great idea. Half a rap center. Well, y'all in your rap center thing. So y'all say that to be derogatory. We do need a civic center. We do need one. There is no doubt in my mind we need one. Can we get some of the rich people in town to donate like the president did on that other thing? Can we get people around here they can't take all that money with them anyway? Can they donate some and we can borrow some? I mean, we put their name on the center. We can put their name on the new civic center. Can we get private donations for it? I mean, if we really want it, is Bubba and Leroy willing to up $20 a month for a while to see if we can raise the money for it? Are we willing to do that? I don't know, but I mean, first of all, if we cannot invest in our own self, then how in the world can we ask everybody else to do it? So I'm thinking, let's put some private government, how do they say that? Public and private money together and see what we can get from that because if we do 375, we only got $12 million left, and $12 million for a city ain't about jack. That's nothing. Okay, that's not even payroll for the month. So again, I think we need it. I think we do need it to bring people in this town. Okay, so we can bring people in this town, so we don't have to worry about. Only thing we bring people here is about color. What white people did to black people back in the day. I'm with you. We can't undo what happened. Okay. Poor ticket sales. Now, there's a point there, too, because I don't think we sell on Impact, but we don't own Impact either. Impact is a private business. So, anyway, there's going to be much more conversation about this before it's done, I hope. Let's see. They only want to count money when they think black folks will benefit from it. Well, the Civic Center won't be for black folks only. Okay. See, y'all got to stop putting color in this. Okay, there's only one color that matters here, and that's green. If we can, get it. And again, some people call it a rap center. Most of it don't even like rap. Okay, but it would be nice to get some of the the stuff that goes to St. Louis or the stuff that goes to Mississippi, other things. But not too many people go to Mississippi. Go to Nashville. I mean, Nashville is not, 200 miles away? Nashville is not that far. Now, I agree with him on one thing. Maybe, and I think our airport needs a little bit more fixing so we can get people actually land here rather than land in Atlanta. But anyway, that's a whole different. That's a story for another day. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. We'll replay this later on around 3 o'clock or so, something like that. Okay, so y'all can listen to William then. Okay, they inflated the price high. Well, we'll see. Y'all have a great day. Oh, I got to give you lesson of life today. Lessons of life today. Y'all forgot all about it. The lessons of life today is this. Okay, because I know y'all been waiting to hear this because it is. What comes easy won't last, and what lasts won't come easy. Live long enough, and you'll say that to your kids and your grandchildren, who may think success is like microwave popcorn. It only takes 3 minutes. Again, what comes easy won't last, and what lasts won't come easy. Live long enough, and you'll say this to your kids and your grandkids who think that success is like microwave popcorn. Ready in 3 minutes. It takes a minute to be successful. Okay, most of the time, other people think you're successful when you don't think it. Okay, so anyway, those are the lessons of life today. So take your time, come up with a plan. Somebody said, if you don't plan, you plan to fail. Okay, so we got to plan this out because this money, once we go in debt with it, it's our debt. When I say our debt, everybody who lives in Montgomery is going to pay a piece of that. And if the economy does go down, we got to raise that money some kind of way. And there's only one way. There's only one way the government raises money. Yeah, they print a little bit for themselves, but they get the rest of it from us. Okay. So we might need to think hard, long about this $375 million. And if we do take it, we got $12 million left. We reached our limit up to $12 million. We got $12 million left. So I don't know. I'll leave that to the people in office. Unless I get enough, then I'll make my decision. All right. But right now, I don't know. I know one thing. If it's only paying the interest only loan, I'm a no. Because sooner or later, the other bill comes due. And where are we going to be at then? We'll be back tomorrow. The good Lord says the same. But what do you think? $375 million. Are you willing to take a chance? Because I say you, me, and everybody else, because if we're alive, we'll be the person paying the money back if things go wrong. Way wrong. We'll be paying it. Take the water bill high now. Woo! We'll be back. Have a great day.